The SAS Challenge is taking a bunch of people to a remote location to test them physically, mentally, and ultimately overcome. The guys that came along to this event are just normal business people, normally family men, and the big goal for the SAS Challenge was to take the guys on a journey, to be able to push through physically, tap into the mental state, and then test their will, because it's the will that allows us to overcome a lot of mental and physical challenges. And what that tends to do is expose emotions, whether it be good or bad. But once we expose those, we have a chance to deal with these emotions, reset, and plan for the future well.
I just encourage each other, be aware is a big thing. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of each other.
Feeling a bit anxious but excited.
I'm feeling a bit nervous, a bit apprehensive, not exactly sure what to expect.
I like that Jay's kept it really secretive and not too sure what's in front of us, so there's a little bit of nervous laughter amongst everyone.
Look, I think there'll be a fair bit of physical endurance, but I think most of it will be mental.
No, I thought it was going to be pretty casual until we got here and had to sign a waiver, so we'll see what happens.
Honestly, I've thought about doing a bit of training, but not much has happened.
Look, I'm most excited just to see how everyone bands together today. I think we've got a really good group here, and I'm just excited to see how everyone goes and the challenges that we're going to face.
Our first mission was a significant run carrying rocks, and then we threw them into cold water. I wanted to set the standard right from the start that they were going to be physically challenged, they were going to get uncomfortable, and I wanted them to overcome. That was our warm-up. So our marine base is that yellow thing out there, the one in the middle. We cannot get these grenades wet.
Well done.
I asked a lot of the guys at the start why they were here, and a few people said this is an opportunity to reset, and that's exactly what I tapped into. So the guys are doing bear crawls, they're doing burpees, they're doing wheelbarrows on their arms, and they're at their limit. And you saw some guys standing there, hands on hips, wanting to quit. And we saw blokes all but throwing up. But what they did do is they mentally overcame. Will kicked in and they chose to continue. They chose to push through. And it's funny because physically they want to quit, mentally they want to quit. And then there's this moment where it flips and the will kicks in and they can do more. You're now physically tired. You're now mentally tired, but then now you're competing. We decided to get the guys to wrestle. So we had guys 2 minutes earlier, ready to throw up, wanting to quit, but now they've got to wrestle head to head with somebody else. And for them to actually go, hey, I'm going to compete here, and to actually win was pretty special to see.
think the initial swim, carrying the rocks one-handed, hadn't been swimming for a while, and it was a bit fresh, caught me off guard a little bit, by surprise.
Yeah, I'm a little sore. I think it's the build-up of the whole day so far.
Yeah. Was there any point during the first mission that you felt like quitting?
Probably when Brad was choking me out.
What do you think's next?
something challenging, something hard.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right, so out of the wrestling results, we get 2 teams of 4 who are now going to compete against each other as a team. And we decide to get some sandbags that they've got to carry back to base. It's 1.7 kilometres away if they know the right direction. It could be more if they haven't paid attention on the run over there. The funny thing is, I gave them 10 sandbags each, which I thought were about 8, maybe 10, 15 kilos at most. They were 35 kilos each. You had some guys go, do you know what? I'm gonna carry 2 at a time. Within 100 meters, they're like, nah, can't be done. So each team had 10 bags between 4 people to carry 1.7 kilometers back. And it was one of the best challenges to see the strategy, to see the effort, but the competition and the competitiveness always kicks in.
Our plan is try and break it up into peak by peak, so get as much as we can to the top of the hill, come back, get what we can, move our base closer and closer to the end as we go, rather than coming all the way back here.
You up and then I'll get
I wish I would chat about it now. At the moment we're just going to go 1 each and go pick a point, get up the top there, drop it off, we'll come back and get another one, and then just do a relay all the way up.
So you're carrying 10 35 kilo sandbags, 1.7 kilometers, and you may not know the exact way to go. So you're constantly doubting yourself, but yet you need to plow one through. You need to encourage your team. You need to set a direction that the guys actually believe in.
Banking on going to the right, eh? The way we come.
A road. I don't know which road it is.
Oh, that's sand one.
Down to one. Has been lost along the way.
So one team that we thought were miles ahead actually took a wrong direction. 800 meters extra effort they had to do for nothing. And so all of a sudden they were 800 meters behind the other team. But then they had to choose, hey, how do we catch up? So strategically, their sandbag carry changed. They started to make up more ground. They decided to take a leap of faith and go in a totally different direction to the way we actually came over, and it paid off. They caught up those 800 meters to a point where it was almost a sprint finish.
There's 2 at the top though. Yeah.
Good call. Shortcut. Well done. Yeah, boys. Nice work today.
That's huge.
So you finally get back. All you want to do is just chill. All you want to do is get some sugar into you. But no chilling. So now we decide to ambush the guys. So now the guys are physically tired, they're mentally tired, they've tested their will, but now we're testing their emotion. We blindfold the guys. We put them on a jet ski and bolt them across the water to a remote location. So guess what? Fear kicks in. I don't know where I'm going, I'm blindfolded, am I gonna fall off at 100 kilometers an hour on a jet ski, and now I'm getting dumped in a location where I don't know where I am, and I've gotta find my way home. we get them to take off their blindfold, say, hey, find your way back to home base, but carry 2 20-litre jerry cans and find home base and get them home, because that's your drinking water for the weekend. The problem is they know where they've got to go, but they don't know where they are. So they've got to figure out, hey, where am I? Where do we need to go? What's the best way back? And then how do we physically carry our water and get it home? Because otherwise we go without.
Hard to turn without accelerating.
So we've dropped them off. They've got their map. They know where they need to go, but how do we get there? They need to find their place of where we've dropped them off. And some teams were so confident, let's follow the water back, let's follow the edges. And it was physically tough where they had to, take off their shoes, stretch through mud, carry these 20-litre drums across a river, but yet they eventually made it back. However, the other team went 6 kilometres the wrong direction. They said, let's follow the sun. They did all their math, they did all their science correctly. However, they still somehow went the wrong direction. And when we got to them and checked in on them, they were absolutely wrecked mentally, because we just told them they were 6 kilometres in the wrong direction after they'd been trekking for an hour and a half. So at this point in the day, they've already done double digits in kilometres on foot, running, carrying sandbags, carrying their water, and they haven't got much food into them at this point. Guess what? Now we throw them into the water. They're physically exhausted, they've all got to link arms, and they've got to do sit-ups in the water as the tide's coming up. So physically they're tired, but we're also testing them whether they're going to panic and quit. So we started out with a small amount of time underwater, 1 second, 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. But by the end of it, guys were underwater with their head down, with water going up their nose for up to 20 seconds. And they'd come up only for a short amount of time, and then they had to do it again. So oxygen was getting lower, their time underwater was getting higher, and they were saying, well, mentally, how long can I last? So your head's underwater for a long period of time. Water's going up your nose. The person next to you may not come up, so they're gonna hold you down as well. So the guys that we saw who succeeded in this challenge were the ones who could mentally just go, I'm gonna be okay. I don't need to panic, and I know everything will be all right, and I'll be able to get back up. And the ones who succeeded. So quite often in business and in life, we have these same fears that kick in. Finances, health, when's my next job gonna come in? And these fears naturally kick in, and the first people who start to go, hey, I'm gonna be okay, I'm just gonna stick to my role, I'm gonna do my job well, and the outcome will be fine, were the ones who succeed. So you're on the go all day. Your mind is racing, your body's racing, but now it's time to unwind. Now it's time to have that place of still. And that's where we transition, we set up our swags, we got changed, we warmed up and sat around the fire, and cooked up some nice dinner. So we've all got our history and we've all got our pain that we need to deal with. And the chance for us to all sit around and expose or talk about these fears or pains that we've had in our journey was a great opportunity for everyone to understand they're not alone in their own journey. Running a building company is full on, more so over the last couple of years. You know, I know so many guys that have just operated and stuck their head above water during COVID, and just they're physically and mentally exhausted and going, what did I achieve the last couple of years? And you know, this SAS challenge was physically, mentally, emotionally exhausting. So they had this feeling of, far out, what am I doing here? You know, I want to quit. But this is where we need to have that still moment. We need to have that transition. We need to have that moment of peace where we can mentally switch off, physically switch off. And like what we did, we sat around the fire, we got to talk all things, have a bit of a laugh, and just take it all in. And that moment where we all got to sit together, we got to share our journey, but we also got to realise, hey, we're not alone, we're here together. And as I've said, you know, being together and being able to share, as a bloke in construction, is a rare thing. So we really enjoyed that.